Okay, so this problem. Again, I've got a 1 in front, so that's good. That works out fine. But I need all the x stuff on one side and the other stuff on the other side. So, you know, I might start here. I want all the x stuff over on the left, maybe, with the x squared. So I'm going to subtract 12x from both sides. But then I don't want the 40 with that stuff. I want to get rid of the 40. So I'm going to subtract 40 from both sides. So this is just getting it in this nice form, right? I want the x stuff on one side, anything else on the other side. And you can write down as much or as little as you want when you're doing this. Then I find this special number, right? 1/2 the coefficient of the linear term of my x term here. So that's 1/2 of negative 12. Remember that negative isn't really important because it's going to get squared anyway. So I'm going to take 1/2 of, that's times 12, and then I'm going to square that. So that's going to give me 6 squared, which is going to be 36. So I'm going to add 36 to both sides. All right, now if I've done that correctly, this should factor as something squared. X squared is x times x. The 36 came from 6 squared, so I'm going to think 6 times 6. To make that a negative 12 in the middle, those are both going to have to be minuses. And then negative 40 plus 36, there's more negative than positive, so that's going to be negative. Now, that's okay. I'm eventually going to take a square root, and I'm going to get the square root of a negative, but that's just going to involve I. So here I do have x minus 6 squared equals negative 4. And then I'm just going to take the square root of both sides. So the square root of something squared goes away. When you take the square root, you have to throw in plus or minus. And now the square root of a negative, well, that's just going to involve I. And of course, the square root of 4 is 2. So I would write 2i. And then I'm going to add 6 to both sides. So my solutions, I'm going to get 6 plus 2i and 6 minus 2i. And as I've been saying all the way along here, you cannot put the 6 and the 2 together. This has an I, this does not, so they're not like terms.